serve them. On my right, but always political left, Ogie Overman, the great and wonderful David Daggett of the Daggett Shuler Law Firm. We held him over from our segment about the food bank. Keith Granberry, founder of Helping Hands Consultants. All right, guys, 25 states now allow year-round school, and that affects over 3 million students. Education leaders say public school students are still way behind in learning since the pandemic. Would you like to see all North Carolina students attend public schools year-round, Ogie?
No, I think they need that break. I think it puts a lot of stress on them, and they're not going to really learn that much if they're under stress anyway. I think they need that summer break.
Mr. Daggett.
Well, first, we do have some all-around schools in North Carolina.
That's correct.
And our students aren't behind because we don't have year-round school. They're behind because underprivileged students didn't have Wi-Fi, they didn't have the tools, they didn't have the ability, they didn't have parents at home to instruct them during the pandemic. It is a major problem we're going to have to deal with.
Keith, year-round school?
No, I think that we need the schools to have the resources needed to teach their kids, and the kids that are underprivileged need to have resources in order to be up to par with other people. I think that's what has to happen.
Speaking of Wi-Fi, the FCC recently approved a plan to fund Wi-Fi in school buses starting next year. Now, some Republican lawmakers in Washington oppose the program, saying it's one, it's too expensive, and two, it's just going to give the kids more time to get on that social media stuff while they're in the buses, and that's not good for them. Are you okay with Wi-Fi in school buses, or do you agree with some of the lawmakers that it's not a good thing? Ogie.
I bet you it's not just Republicans. That sounds like a bipartisan issue. That no, absolutely not. That's going in the exact wrong direction.
All right, David.
Well, I think Wi-Fi is eventually going to be everywhere, and I don't have any problem with it being on the school buses. Some students have a long bus ride, and some students use that to do homework. A lot of homework now is online. I'm not against it.
Keith. Wi-Fi in the buses.
I don't know about students doing homework on school buses. I don't know if they're doing that, but
I did.
See, you're different. See, but I think
I'd like to just take a moment to if we can hold this show in the archive. Keith Granberry said David Daggett is different.
But I don't think kids, you really should have phones, but I don't think that there should be Wi-Fi on a school bus.
An increasing number of law firms and companies are refusing to hire anyone who speaks out against Israel, and some companies won't recruit employees who graduated from a school who supports Palestine. Since the Mideast conflict is a religious war, should and could these applicants file lawsuits for discrimination based on religious freedom, Ogie?
I think if it were a school that the kid has nothing to do with the school stance on Palestine. I mean, that's unfair as can be. I don't know if it rises to the level of a lawsuit. Mr. Daggett might
What do you think,
inform us.
especially if it's an individual who was active in support?
Certainly it could be. This is a knee-jerk reaction to a current event that hopefully, as a mature society, will blow over and we stop doing some of this nonsense. Depending on the specific fact scenario, certainly there could be a claim.
So Keith, you come and I won't hire you because you said something bad about Israel, and what are you going to do, sue or just what?
Is it a private business?
Could be a bit, yeah, these businesses are turning people away.
Well, private business has the right to hire who they want to hire, don't they?
They do.
So it's really hard, but you would hope that there comes to some conclusion, because it's bad on both sides.
All right, New Hampshire is one of the few states in the union that does not allow early voting or mail-in voting. In order to avoid controversy over rigged elections, which some people say there are and there aren't, there's not really any evidence of widespread fraud, but anyway, just to avoid all that mess, would you like to see every state allow only same-day voting? Ogie.
No, absolutely not. That is really in the wrong direction. In order for democracy to work, the more people who vote makes democracy work better. That's the point. That's the exact wrong way to go.
I agree with Ogie for different reasons. Personally, for me, election day voting is kind of a personal ritual that I enjoy. However, I do know there's people for which early voting, absentee voting, other forms of voting are important for them to be able to exercise that right.
Should we only have same-day voting, Keith?
Absolutely not. I mean, voting you should be able to vote as much as you can within not as much as you can, but as early as you can. Listen,
I vote once, but
not as much as you can. But I don't know who these people are saying there was rigged voting. There's no,
Yeah, really.
there's no indication that any election has been rigged.
You might want to know for the record.
Please take that out.
Yeah,
I did not say as many times as you can, as early as the voting is
Keith
possible.
once voted 72 times for Jill Stein.
I voted 50 times last
All right.
time.
This past Saturday, yeah. Are we almost out of time, Diane? Golly, what happened to all the, I had a whole bunch of things we were going to talk about. Well, anyway, we'll shift to the last one. Let's see what we can, well, I don't know. Keith's different.
he's still voting.
Yeah, finally, a USA Today reporter recently spent 2 hours lying naked in a dark chamber full of water in order to reduce stress. Guys, have you ever floated naked in a dark chamber, or would you, Ogie?
Well, we used to have a pool in the backyard, and at night I'd go out there and float a lot, and it's a wonderful experience.
Naked?
Oh, yeah.
Holy man.
I mean,
David,
we
what
had a
about you?
fence around it.
Question, would I or have I?
Both.
Yes. So,
Keith, you going to float naked to relieve stress?
You know, me releasing stress is not even visualizing these two floating naked.
Yeah,
So
that causes.
that would reduce my.
causes. Oh man.
I can't believe that.
All right.
No need to do that.
Fortunately,
Outlaw naked,
we'll get that image out of our
floating.
mind. All right. So, all right. So anyway, Ogie and David are going to go naked into a dark chamber, and we'll see you next week.